And we have a caller on the line. We have Summer on the phone, and thanks for calling in a Moments of Clarity.
Hi.
Summer, how can we help you?
Just a storm has kind of hurt my family. My daughter recently moved out, and she is renting another place, and her roof caved in. So now she's burdened with all of these different financial things that's going on in her life with replacing furniture and hotel expenses and all that stuff. And I'm kind of at my wit's end with how do I help her out and keep my bills going, too.
It's a good question, and I'm so sorry that you're going through that, and your daughter too, Summer. We kind of joked about that storm that was supposed to hit hard and kind of didn't, but it did do some damage, and I'm really sorry to hear that. Natural disasters are something we never planned for either. That is something that we didn't even mention yet, and it's another thing that if you're not saved up or if you're not financially secure, something like Hurricane Katrina or just even this storm that just hit and affected your daughter and all her stuff and all her belongings, which ripple effect will affect you. That's something that we didn't even consider yet, and that's another thing that we always have to. You never can plan for Mother Nature, I guess.
No, that's a good. I mean, how old is your daughter now?
27.
27, and she owns a home, which is nice, right? So the home that she owns, the roof collapsed. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
No, man. Sorry to hear it.
And all her stuff and everything. Her did she have renters or home insurance?
She has some insurance, but it's not covering her expenses.
Right. So that's So
cover, I guess, her belongings or a fair market value for how old they are, which of course isn't going to replace them.
Right. I'm not, when I say we have Dolphin insurance, we don't do property and casualty, which is P&C, which is where this would fall under. But I use the example all the time, having an emergency fund to replace the air conditioning. And I say if your roof needs to be replaced, now hers needs to be replaced immediately. And the damage done is going to be a problem. So the idea is hopefully she has some sort of insurance which will cover something. Now, this is a perfect time for people listening to say, you know what, I better check my homeowner's insurance to see if it's a replacement cost or if it's fair market value, because you can get different types. And right. It's a different conversation. But now we're in the moment now. So what do you do? So at age 27, now I'm assuming you might even have parents too that you have to worry about, perhaps?
Sure.
So
I do.
You're in the sandwich generation. So this is a perfect example. Your daughter didn't do anything that caused grief. She just happened to be in the wrong place, or the house happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. So now you feel probably obligated to help her out, right?
Of course.
This is a problem people face. I'm hoping Tiffany has some ideas, but my idea is if you're going to help her out, if you say, all right, I know you need some help. You can't afford to get a new wardrobe, for instance. I don't know, for lack of a better. You might be able to give her money to help do that, with the understanding this way. You need to set boundaries. You need to make sure that if you're going to do this, it's not a Band-Aid. Now, in this particular case, it doesn't sound like it's going to be a Band-Aid, meaning you're just going to have to keep going back. Your daughter's going to come and say, oh, and now this happened, now this happened. This kind of sounds like a random occurrence that even she wasn't prepared for.
Right. It's something that you can't prevent. It's my heart really goes out to you, Summer, because it's not that it was, from what Summer told us, it's not something that she allowed or didn't set or had a needy child or anything. It's it's a storm out of nowhere, literally, and then because it's not a needy child or somebody that you have to set boundaries with, you feel obligated to help because it's someone in need, and then anyone would do that. You
right, and so you feel obligated, so you can go that route if you have some funds that you feel, hey, I could help her out, but I'm going to be sacrificing my own retirement. Maybe I'll be, killing my own financial safety net in case my roof goes. So what you would do is you would structure it as a loan to her if possible. Giving her as a gift is one thing, and but you might be better off structuring it as a loan if you don't have spare cash. So in other words, what I mean is if you're going to give your daughter some money and say, here's some money to get you by, to help you out, then I expect you to repay me this money. I know it wasn't your fault, and I'm not going to blame you. I'm not going to charge you outrageous interest. You can charge her interest. Keep it minimal. Make a contract. Make sure she signs it. Make sure that there's something there in writing. I know it sounds crazy. It's your daughter, right? But I've seen it way too often where, hey, I give you the money, and then they kind of forget. Oh, I thought that was a gift. Or you expected me to pay me back? Well, you didn't tell me that, and now you're hurting. And, so if you can form it so it's, because I'm sure she's got a cell phone payment she's making. So it's just another, we're going to give her we're going to give her another cell phone payment. She's just not going to get the cell phone. She's just going to be paying you back. If you structure it that way, it's going to make it so much easier to transition out of it as you helped her out. She's paying you back, so it's not going to hurt you. Remember, you got to take care of yourself first and then the needy parent or child. And I know she's 27, so it's tough to call her a child, but she's always going to be your child. So I would structure it as a loan if you're ever going to give her money on that.
It's kind of.
Sorry, is there somewhere online that I can go to get like a template? A
template, yeah. That's a great idea. I don't have one. I actually do have. I can email you one if you want to email me. But it doesn't have to be complex. It's just got to say, here's the loan amount, here's the payment schedule, and you can use a calculator if you want to do interest. But even if you don't do any interest on it, you have to watch out for the tax implications of this too. You can't just loan money and collect interest without being a bank. You got to pay the government if you charge interest. But if if it's just, hey, here's some money on the side, if you document it, it just makes it easier. And like when I say, if your daughter was to move in with you, charge rent. I just say that even if it's $1, as long as there's something that they feel reminding them, hey, this isn't your money. This is not a gift.
And you don't want to cause conflict by lending money, because that could become a problem down the road, especially, once a favor, then it turns into an obligation, and it happens all the time. And so helping them out, even if it was a natural disaster this time, and then next time it's your grandkids, and they're like, well, she helped us out last time, and it becomes in the, then it burdens the relationship. It puts a weight on it.
Yeah, if you might have other children as well. Hey, you lent her money, why not me? Just because my roof didn't cave in. So it's easier if it's not so much a gift as it is a loan. Just as a word of advice I have for you.